Live presents the Three Rivers Festival Parade. The kickoff to Three Rivers Festival 26 and a celebration of Fort Wayne's bicentennial year. Now, here are your hosts, Jane Hersha and Keith Edwards.
And good morning to you, and welcome to the kickoff of the Three Rivers Festival 26. The theme of the parade is a glorious past, a glorious future. I'm Jane Hersha, and I'm here with Keith Edwards, and it's going to be a very special parade this year.
And they usually are, and this is even more so this year, because this year the festival is saluting Fort Wayne's bicentennial year. And believe you me, there are going to be a lot of surprises this year. By the way, this is our very own 19th year of bringing you this spectacular event.
It's been a long time. We've had fun doing it. And along with Keith and me today, we have down on the street from the 21 Alive newsroom our co-worker, Marianne Bird. Marianne, what's happening down there?
Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, everyone. We're having a great time here on the street. This is where all the action is today. I have Cindy from Fort Wayne with me, and you brought your girlfriend's little daughter with you, Ashley, and her grandmother's out there watching. Tell us about her grandmother.
Her grandmother's Betty Goff, and she's in Parkview Memorial Hospital with leukemia, and we just want to say hi.
Because Grandma can't make it today. You want to say hi to your Grandma?
Ashley, want to say hi to Grandma?
Say hi to Grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Ashley.
Well, at least her grandma is watching, so it's going to be a great parade for Betty Goff and a great parade for all of us. Back to you, Keith and Jane.
Thank you very much. And we said hi to her and hi, Grandma, too, from all of us down here.
And we'll be talking with Marianne throughout the parade today.
That we will. And our first special treat for the parade day is a performance by the Fort Wayne Youth Ensemble. This group is under the direction of Chris Ford, and they're ready and waiting, so let's get this parade started, kids. Take it away.
Wow, what a job they did. The Fort Wayne Youth Ensemble under the direction of Chris Ford. Boy, that gave me goosebumps. That was great.
Excellent, young people.
Well,
thank you.
Excellent job. Now it's time to hear from the Honorable Mayor of Fort Wayne, Paul Helmke.
Hi, this is Mayor Paul Helmke, and I'd like to welcome you to the Three Rivers Festival Parade. This is the 26th year that we've had the Three Rivers Festival, but more important, this is the 200th year for the city of Fort Wayne. During our bicentennial year, we are commemorating the past, celebrating the present, and creating lasting legacies for the future. Enjoy the parade, enjoy the festival, and let's have a great year to celebrate the bicentennial. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. It's going to be a great year. 26 festivals we've celebrated. You know, Keith, the first festival we celebrate, there's the muskets. It's official now. We are underway. Scared that little one a little bit, I think, when he heard that musket. We've got lots of noise and excitement coming in this 26th parade. You know, the first parade 26 years ago came to us from the rivers of Fort Wayne.
That's right, it did. And we've continued to grow and do different things. And then we moved, obviously, over to the parade route that we're witnessing today. And it's quite an event. Thousands of people lining the streets here today, enjoying themselves. And you see a young person there just anticipating. Here's the flyover, Jane.
All right. This is the Indiana Air Guard's 163rd Black Snake Squadron.
All right. Now, in the flight lead position is Lieutenant Colonel Don Thompson of Argos, Indiana. The wingmen are Captain Jeff Wood of Indianapolis on the left wing and Major Greg Wyant of Fort Wayne on the right wing. And, boy, they were right on time.
Right on time. And in the slot position, another pilot from Fort Wayne, Captain Craig Ash. Thank you, gentlemen. And that's always such a thrill, and everybody gets goosebumps when that
That's
happens.
right. I mean, they came over in the roar, and the crowd, everybody's eyes went right straight to the sky.
And there you get an idea of the size of the crowds that have been gathering since early morning. Some of our special guests from Takaoka, from Japan, I believe we're seeing now some of the youth beginning this parade.
That's
as
the youth
we
choir
hear
right
the
there.
motorcycle sirens coming, which means the parade is just down the street, and the police motorcycle brigade.
That's right. They're leading our parade today, the Fort Wayne Police Motorcycles. Our police department owns 6 of these law-enforcing vehicles.
They're used, of course, for such things as special events like the Three Rivers Festival, special enforcements, and accident investigations. We actually had our first motorcycle started as early as 1925.
And, of course, followed up with the tradition of the Fort Wayne Police Department since the days of the Model T. And now what you see is a new vehicle. Been on the traffic patrols and following the Fort Wayne Police Motorcycles are today's Fort Wayne Police Traffic Department, and a fine job that they do.
And, of course, you can find these people out at Southgate Plaza when you want to chat with them or check something out. The Three Rivers Festival, of course, is a special event where the officers of the traffic department are at their best. Sergeant Joe Alvarez marching along, and, of course, he's very active with Crime Stoppers.
I believe these are some of the Charmaine models this
Doing
morning.
some inline skating there for us. Hi, Sergeant Joe. These are the Charmaine models carrying the banners. They have carried the banners for the past 21 years in our festival parades, and you'll notice them carrying the banners throughout, announcing the winners of the various categories.
And, of course, Nina Grill is the founder and executive director of the School of Model Agency.
And you know, the Charmaine models have received over 300 awards in modeling and in acting, and that all took place at the International Modeling and Talent Association competitions in New York and Los Angeles.
And following up right behind is the Army National Guard, represented by the 1st Battalion, 293rd Infantry. They're headquartered in Fort Wayne and consisting of companies from Fort Wayne, Huntington, Hartford City, Portland, and Winchester.
You know, these are the citizen soldiers, they have been called, and they were called into state active duty for the coal strike in '78, the blizzard of '78, the Fort Wayne flood of '82, and, of course, the Decatur flood of '93.
They're trained for civil disasters or civil disturbances. 1st Battalion, 293rd Infantry.
A little interesting aside, Keith, this is the last time this group will be marching as a battalion, and it's the first time they have marched as a unit since World War II, where they were responsible for liberating the Philippines. So they are being converted now to part of the 101st Airborne, and that will happen in November. So this is a special day for all of these people.
You know, I don't think I've seen this many all at one time in the Three Rivers parades in quite some years. And, of course, now the crowd on the sidelines, as they're viewing, are standing and applauding these men.
All right. And applaud they should.
And women, we should say.
Also, it's good to commemorate not only those marching with the unit today, but that we think and have a memory and give thanks for those who didn't return from that liberation in the Philippines.
Kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Marvelous crowd crowd response and reception. There you get a feeling for just how large this contingent is.
Well, once again, folks from Fort Wayne, Huntington, Hartford City, Portland, and Winchester, and that's nice to see such a turnout today of the Army National Guard.
And we have next the parade marshal. This is Mr. Leonard. Mr. Leonard is the chief of the Miami Nation, the Native American Alliance. Chief Marshal was the parade marshal.
Folks along the street enjoying this early start of this Three Rivers Parade, the 26th year of the festival.
100 and some units yet to go in the parade. 109, I believe, is what we ended up with.
This first float is a 23-foot-long turtle brought to you by Lincoln National Life Insurance Company to honor Fort Wayne's rich American Indian heritage. Built by the Kikiyanga Native American Alliance, the float represents Turtle Island, the name many Indians call North America.
Right. You know, and the float's theme, Kikiyanga, Gateway to Education, refers to the original name of Fort Wayne. We used to call it Kikiyanga.
The powwow music and dancers along with it give us a taste of the excitement coming later this month when the Kikiyanga Alliance brings American Indians from all across Turtle Island to powwow at Lawton Park for the first time in 200 years.
That should be an exciting event.
You know, Kikiyanga was a thriving Native American city and a real center of trade and transportation. Matter of fact, it was much bigger than Chicago or Detroit.
And I think sometimes as newer Americans, we don't realize the value of our location in the growth of our nation as it moved westward.
The clan's grandmother is accessible. And the great Chief Turtle, whose portrait is shown in the moon. The great is a symbol of Miami people.
Okay, riding now the streets of the city, Chief Leonard, Parade Marshal. Chief Leonard is the chief of the Oklahoma Miamis. He visited earlier with the opening of the events in Huntington, Indiana. Chief Leonard came out to meet with the chief of the Miami Nation, and they had quite an exciting event down in Huntington. This is more of the Miami Indian Alliance as we see more members and some of the young people. There are many Miamis in Fort Wayne still, so they have a rich ancestral heritage here as well as the current members of the Indian Nation who live with us. Some of the younger members, active members of the Miami Indian Nation in our community at this time.
It's a beautiful float, a lot of work and time spent there. What does that moon represent?
Well, you know, I'm not sure. The moon is, well, that's Chief Little Turtle, whose picture is shown in the moon. And the crane that we saw, that is the symbol of the Miami people. A salute to Fort Wayne. This is WBYR 98.9 The Bear. This is a salute to area firefighters. You know, our firefighters have been making our city safe since the 1830s, when all they had to fight the fires were the hooks and the ladders. The Bear here, the classic rock station in our community, proudly invites you to visit the Firefighters Museum. Take the kids and go down there and get a feeling for the Fort Wayne firefighting history.
You know, I've been fortunate to be in the Miami Indian Alliance.
Of course, the young people having a good time on the floats as well. This is an opportunity for some members of the family, members of WBYR, to be out there also as well. Actually, parades are for kids.
That's
all
right,
ages.
all ages. We all become kids when it comes parade time. And Parade Marshal once again, General Anthony Wayne, the Mad General. General.
And here, folks, is Major General Mad Anthony Wayne, the man for whom our modern-day community is named. Having fought and defeated the Miami Indian Alliance and their British supporters in 1794, General Wayne came to the Three Rivers 200 years ago and built a fort to control the area.
And, of course, this fort that we now know as Historic Fort Wayne was named after General Anthony Wayne. And that fort was dedicated on October 22nd. And so on this, our 200th bicentennial year, we're going to be celebrating that birthday again all over the city on October 22nd, 1994.
Here we have the Kikiyanga Long Rifles, a local organization of people who are committed to preserving the art of muzzle loading, and they're dressed in the traditional garb, Jane.
And I bet they're going to make some noise before this is over, too. You know, club activities include monthly competition shoots, living history, and pioneer craft demonstrations. And as Keith mentioned, the costumes that you see are authentic, and each member of Kikiyanga makes and creates their own costume so that it is historically correct.
The members of the Kikiyanga Long Rifles give their warmest congratulations, and I'm sure, as you heard, a long rifle salute to Fort Wayne in celebration of its 200th anniversary, Jane. And I know they're just going to blast off here in a minute.
And these people are going to blast off in a little bit different way. They don't have rifles, but they do have their kazoos in hand.
I got to say this because we've said it every year. I can kazoo, can you?
I love to kazoo. I have kazooed with the band, too, Keith, I want you to know.
A marching kazoo band.
Right, sponsored by St. Joe Medical Center.
Fort Wayne's original All-American Marching Kazoo Band is now in its 6th season. Let's listen for a second here.
Presented here are faculty, students, and family members from Indiana Vocational Technical State Colleges.
By the way, the band, their kazoo band, is delighted when the crowd begins to clap along with them.
And we have Indiana Vocational Technical State College. This is the student organizations here.
Indiana Vocational Tech State College honors the city of Fort Wayne and the Three Rivers Festival for 26 years of celebrating.
Yes, they do. They're riding and they're walking along the wagon that's pulled by, we've got some horses, they tell us down there.
The crowd's eating this up.
I guess. Faculty members and students and family members, all from Indiana Tech. And, of course, one of my favorites, the band.
That's right, you got to have a band. This is the Big Orange Pride from Northrop High School.
They were the 1994 Tournament of Roses Parade participants in Pasadena. They've done that for 2 years now.
The Big Orange Pride has also won recently 7th place in the entire nation at the Bands of American Grand National Champions. Let's give a listen.
Let's do.
Whoa, they sound great, don't they?
I still get goosebumps. As a band mom, you just never lose that thrill when those
Big
kids do their
Orange
best.
Pride of Northrop High School. I tell you what, the parade continues, so don't go away. We'll be back with more of this great celebration in just a moment.
21 Alive's coverage of the Three Rivers Festival Parade is brought to you in part by Chemical Waste Management and Kelch Pharmacies.
In the last 10 years, a lot has changed in healthcare, and a lot of health plans have come and gone. But there's one company you can always count on, Physicians Health Plan, serving more people than any other health plan in northern Indiana. So while there will always be signs of change in healthcare, it's nice to know when you're looking for the right healthcare plan, there's one plan that will always be a sign of strength. Physicians Health Plan, still the #1 plan by choice.
band, this one from Cherubusco High School, their Marching Pride.
They're under the direction of Donna S. Russell. Drum majors are Lori Bothman, Joel Kennemore, and Jessica Patel.
The band is performed at the Mermaid Festival in North Webster, Turtle Days in Cherubusco, and they'll be performing yet this summer at parades in Columbia City and Antwerp, Ohio, before they go into their fall marching season.
And their music this time around is a collection of marches by John Philip Sousa. Let's listen in. This is Fort Wayne soldiers come home from the war. This is Sharon's Victorian House of Gifts following up after the band here today.
There you get a panorama down the street here in downtown Fort Wayne as thousands line the entire parade route, watching our 200th bicentennial.
Here's Noah and friends. The children of Central Christian Church of Huntington would like to extend their congratulations to the city of Fort Wayne on the celebration of their bicentennial.
Central Christian Church is celebrating their sesquicentennial, so as part of that celebration,
Say that again.
Sesquicentennial.
Very good.
And the children here, as we note, are celebrating the spreading of God's love, which of course is as bright as the rainbow. And their smiling faces show that love and those rainbow colors.
Don't rock that boat too much now. They got two of everything. Do they have two of everything?
I saw the giraffe, Keith. They were there.
Here's the Mizpah Shrine Horse Patrol. Representative of the Mizpah Shrine Temple in Fort Wayne. Beautiful horses.
And of course these riders are very proud of their mounts and their saddles, the saddlery and the silver ornamentation. They're golden Palomino horses, and they're led by Captain Denny Burnworth.
And this is Sharon's Victoria House of Gifts. Sharon's proudly remembers the brave soldiers from Fort Wayne who fought for the Union during the desperate years of the Civil War, the caring nurses who bandaged and comforted the wounded, and sick soldiers, the mothers, wives, and daughters who kept the home fires burning.
And of course, there's one of the ladies saluting that history. We have Abraham Lincoln there, of course, our 16th President of the United States. And they're waving to old Abe, Honest Abe.
Also, the Girl Scout Troop 200, I should say, is marching with that group. And coming up right behind is Senator Dan Coates. He's now in his first full term in the United States Senate after representing Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana in the House of Representatives for nearly 10 years in the 1980s.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Senator. You know, I happen to know that Dan and his wife, Marcia, of course, have 3 children, but they're most proud and boasting now of a new grandson, Christopher. So he's a proud grandpapa.
Well, good for him. Congratulations, Senator.
Oh, look at that big guy coming down.
Wow, check it out. The Mizpah Dune Patrol was established in 1970. The cars are Bremen bodies on Volkswagen chassis. They attend 25 parades a year to promote the Shrine Hospitals for crippled and burned children.
I guess. That giant Shriner is quite a friend of the kids, too. And you know, the care is free at the Shriners Hospital for any child. So if you happen to know of a child who needs attention, get in touch with the local Shrine office. They're, of course, in the phone book. Their motto is that we ride so children can walk.
You know, I think that's one of the biggest Shriners I ever saw.
He's a giant. He's a dude. Big guy.
And they spent all night blowing him up. One Shriner at a time.
I don't think so,
just kidding.
Keith.
My father-in-law's a Shriner. I love you guys.
They do a tremendous amount of marvelous work, especially with the children. Through it, they have hospitals all over the United States for orthopedic needs, for burn needs. So those guys work hard. But you know, the neat thing is they always have fun when they work, and that's why they do so much of it.
Look at those cars. What is that, a cow driving that car? Hello.
It's a moving experience.
Yeah, oh, I get it. That's utterly ridiculous.
Stop it. We got to stop now.
Everybody's waving and having a good time. Mizpah Dune Patrol. Having a good time. Those are nice cars.
Very, very
Check
nice
them out.
cars.
I bet they never take them into the dunes, though, you think? They're too clean. Look at them.
Well, they clean. You know, these guys with all of these special vehicles that they bring to the parade spend hours in preparation and detailing and waxing.
Well, and if you're doing 25 parades a year,
imagine how much cleaning that is.
you don't have
Steve.
time for dunes.
Another marvelous float coming into view in Three Rivers Festival 26.
St. Joe Hospital coming up here. Within the Industrial Revolution is what they're representing here today.
A float bespeaking the technology and the progress that have come to the city of Fort Wayne in the 125 years of the St. Joe Medical Center. From the time that it was started as a small hospital of handmaidens, the religious order that started it, and has grown today to a medical center that offers multiple services. The true inner city beginning hospital of the city of Fort Wayne.
And they have a new facility out off DuPont, and they continue to grow as well. Members of the hospital staff. Here we have Then and Now is the title of this. United States Post Office and its 800 local employees salutes the Three Rivers Festival and citizens of Fort Wayne area during the celebration of our bicentennial.
You know, this is an original 1880 buggy, and that was a common sight on Fort Wayne's roads, serving the growing community before it was replaced by the Model T.
Also, the buggy is accompanied by volunteer carriers and clerks who have served Fort Wayne daily in the past, and they hope to continue serving for 200 more years.
And I'm sure they will. No matter what the weather, the mail must go through.
Rain, sleet, snow, or hail.
And are we lucky today to have this gorgeous day and none of the above mentioned
That's right.
weather?
And they love walking in this kind of weather.
Yes.
This is Fort Wayne's Manoir, who was founded in 1869, believe it or not, and is the oldest German singing club in Indiana, celebrating its 125th year this year, Jay.
That's a lot of singing, Keith. You know, it is also one of the founding clubs of the Fort Wayne German Fest celebration,
which we just celebrated not too long ago. A great time had by all.
The banner car tells us it's dedicated to German song and culture, and they welcome anyone who is interested in those activities.
Really? You don't have to be German just to do that?
Oh, no. And, you know, we have a very strong German heritage in Fort Wayne.
Matter of fact, it served me right. Lincoln at one time was known as the German Bank, I believe, in town here. Years and years and years ago.
Oh, I think you're right. I got to get out my history book, Keith, and check that out.
We'll check out our bicentennial book when we get
there.
Down
We
here.
will.
So Fort Wayne Turners is now located at 3636 Parnell Avenue as one of the 70 societies of the National American Turners organized to promote health, physical, and cultural education.
And in addition, as we see, they also provide recreational and social activities, and they participate in civic affairs for youth and adults and women. It's really a total family club.
And that's nice. That's what it's all about. Family. Originated in Germany, migrated to America in 1848, and organized in Fort Wayne in 1865.
And you know, they were responsible for the introduction of physical education in the Fort Wayne school system. So these men and women and youth marching today represent all of the activities which the Turners participate in now.
And followed up by the German Heritage Society, a sponsor of Fort Wayne's annual German Fest, salutes Fort Wayne's rich and varied German past.
Members, as you can see, are dressed in the traditional German folk dress for many of the German states, and you'll note, of course, those are the flags of the different states in Germany as well.
Now, immigrants from these states settled in Fort Wayne and contributed to a great past, and through their community involvement will help to shape Fort Wayne's glorious future, Jay.
That they will.
There's a nice shot. Beautiful day out here. Just a few sparse clouds in here, plenty of sunshine. What a great day for a parade. Look at there.
Look
Young
at
people,
little
adults enjoying this. Hi, everybody.
That little blonde guy's been sitting there a long time, Keith.
I think everybody's been seeing, you know, they start coming early on in the morning and to get a front row seat.
Or a front row parking place along some of the other parade routes.
That's right.
Hello there.
And you got to realize that parade members line up very early out at Sweeney Park, where they all get in order and get ready for this fantastic event. There we have food marketing. Back in the late 1880s, you could have seen G.E. Bursley and Company delivering groceries to local markets around Fort Wayne.
And over 100 years later, these locally owned companies, or this company grew to be the major wholesale retail division of Super Value, and of course it's known as Food Marketing Division.
Well, today, the Super Value Semi is a common sight delivering grocery products to over 200 retailers.
Well, maybe it's a semi-semi. I don't know.
It's a semi-semi made with beautiful semi-flowers. Have you ever seen a semi-flower? What is a semi-flower?
We'll find out.
Is that great or what? Nice float. Nice float.
A lot of hard work in these floats.
Here we go. You know,
more music, more marchers.
That's right. The Southside Spectrum Marching Band, Jane.
It's made up of students from the South Side area. Now, the band consists of some 70 musicians in grades 4 through 12.
Let's give a listen. Spectrum Marching Band, grades 4 through 12. This parade continues, so don't you dare budge from that TV set. We'll be right back.
Alive's coverage of the Three Rivers Festival Parade is brought to you in part by your Lincoln Mercury dealer and the Fort Wayne area McDonald's.
You can have a vacation in your own backyard this summer with a swimming pool from Nisco Pool and Patio Paradise. Shop our wide variety of pool shapes and sizes. Plus, Nisco offers a terrific selection of pool games and accessories. Visit either location, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5:30, Wednesday and Friday, 10 to 8, and Sunday, noon to 5. Nisco Pool and Patio Paradise, 5008 Decatur Road, and in Coldwater Crossing.
Why are people homeless?
Tough breaks. It can happen to anyone.
Do I have to go with you?
Come on, you know it's our night to cook at the shelter.
Why does our family have to do it?
Because we can. They can't afford to miss a meal. Where's the pie?
Pie?
Volunteer as a family. Teach your kids the value of helping others and that they can make a difference. Help a child learn and keep on learning.
This reflection on keeping children first is brought to you with care by Chemical Waste Management.
Welcome back. It's a beautiful day for a parade.
It definitely is, and everyone on the sidelines as well are really enjoying this day. Got to rearrange the blanket once in a while, you know, to get comfy. Let's check in with the Indiana Wesleyan University Diamond Jubilee celebration and their gorgeous float rolling down the street here today.
It's celebrating the 75th anniversary this month of the university, and it continues through the school year of 94-95. The university was started in 1920 by the Wesleyan Church in Marion, Indiana, and it was then known as Marion College.
And now, 75 years later, the student university has a student enrollment of 4,500 with 19 satellite campuses around the state, including Fort Wayne, Jane.
And of course, they put the school's colors on that float, and that large diamond in the center, the Indiana Wesleyan University, it symbolizes that 75th anniversary, the Diamond Jubilee celebration.
A lot of time was spent on that float. Nice colors, red, white, and blue.
Being appreciated by the people along the parade route.
You know, the nice thing about today, too, besides the sunshine, there's just a little breeze to cool everybody off, and so it's comfortable and an enjoyable day down here today.
And not only do we have the parade to watch today, but lots of activities going on across the community following the parade. We're right across from us in Fryman Square, and around the Performing Arts Center, we have the Day in the Park with Art, so you want to check that out. And we're checking out now a bagpipe band.
It's got to be there. The Scots and the Pipes are not foreign to Fort Wayne. The adventurous Scots were among the first trappers and settlers in the area.
You know, the Scottish Pipe and Drum Unit represents both the Mizpah Shrine Pipers and the Fort Wayne Pipes and Drums. The Fort Wayne Scottish Heritage Society are the standard bearers there.
Now, the Mizpah unit wear the MacDonald of Clan Renaud plaid, and the Fort Wayne Pipes and Drums wear the Mackay colors, the Mackay.
That's right, my laddie. You know, many of these marchers actually belong to other clans other than those of their costumes, but they all love to wear the native costume, and they love the swirl of the pipes and the sound of the drums.
This is International Village. Oh, this is a great part of this festival. From the very first Three Rivers Festival, the International Village has been an important part of the festivities. This year, they are celebrating our Fort Wayne International Heritage by incorporating the 1994 International Year of the Family as declared by the United Nations.
And, of course, when you visit International Village, you're going to find a delight to the eyes and the palate and the ears because there's music, food, and culture.
The leading unit is a replica of our world, representing the nationalities that have settled in Fort Wayne over our long history. The rich heritage brought to our community by the coming together of these many nationalities is signified by the large pot of gold that commemorates the contribution made by all of our diverse nationalities.
And there we're seeing some of them, the native costumes, the flags of the nations of the world as they all come together, not only for Three Rivers, but very especially so at the International Village.
And being a food lover, of course, you know, you have to...
We show up there,
make a few
don't we?
stops during
Yes,
the week.
we do.
So we look forward to seeing you all out there.
And look at these little ones wheeling along.
The wheelmen.
You know, these are sponsored by the News Sentinel, and it's celebrating its 161st birthday this month, and they are sponsoring the Wheelmen. And the Wheelmen are a national nonprofit organization dedicated to the enjoyment and preservation of our bicycling heritage.
Matter of fact, we rode our bikes in today, didn't we, Jane?
Well,
yeah, right. Most of the riders, I know. Most of the riders are on bicycles from the 1870s, 80s, and 90s. Bone shakers, high wheels, and safeties. And the riders appear in period clothing as well. Oh, now I could not ride.
You can understand why they call them bone shakers and breakers,
among other things.
You know, I've always wondered just exactly how you get on. Getting off, I guess, would be relatively simple, but getting on those high wheelers.
Very carefully and very gently.
With a stepladder, I suppose.
Or you could end up with a very high voice.
I have a high voice. And look, they start out as little kids.
Do they make training wheels for those things?
I don't know. We should ask. The costumes, and you know something else we can learn from these kids though, there's some safety factors here because you'll notice that the riders are usually wearing bloomers or their skirts have been tied for safety. Just as today we need to remember to ride in the proper bike clothing.
I always tie
your
my bloomers
skirt.
when I'm riding my bike.
Good for you, Keith.
This is, am I right? Is that Lee's? Lee's famous chicken. In the War of 1812, inhabitants of the fort complained that there were no chickens at all.
Well, we've got lots of chickens today.
No complaining now.
I guess not, because Lee's, of course, is here.
Lee's, by the way, has 5 Fort Wayne locations with 160 employees.
And who knows how many chickens.
Hi, guys. Indiana Conservation Officers are joining us as well today. The group known as Indiana Conservation Officers began during the Gilded Era in 1911. They were the first law enforcement agency ever established in the state level.
And you know, I bet a lot of people didn't know that. In 1957, then, the legislature changed their status to peace officers. Thus, their name also, of course, was changed then from game wardens to conservation officers, as it is today.
In 1971, the state legislature gave them full police powers, and they became a full-fledged police agency.
And the Indiana Conservation Officers, as you've just heard, have come a long way since their game protection role, and that was in 1911.
Modern conservation officers are some of the most highly trained law enforcement personnel in the country today. And we move on. How about a Model A from 1930, a pickup truck? It's a Ford.
And you know, Fansel Welding is sponsoring this unit in the parade today. We're celebrating, of course, 200 years of Fort Wayne history. And perhaps this 1930 Model A Ford pickup truck, which was purchased in Wabash, was there. Well, that's not a pickup truck.
These are our Miss Paul Racing Shriners, the first Shrine group in Fort Wayne established in 1910. The Racing Shriners Little 500 is a parade unit from the Miss Paul Temple of Fort Wayne.
Of course, help raise funds with this group for the Shriners Crippled Children Hospitals and the Shriners Burn Units, as we've mentioned before. Their cars are built on go-kart frames.
They're patterned after the Indy 500 body styles. The Racing Shriners Little 500 motto is, "We ride so children can walk."
And we're glad they ride. And I think there's probably a lot of kids along the route today that would like to ride with them.
One of those right now. And I think those big kids driving those things have just as much fun.
Oh, definitely.
Fort Wayne Civic Theater members join us now.
This is sponsored by the Arts United and Fort Wayne Civic Theater, and they've been entertaining us since 1928. They are now wrapped up in their 65th season, and they're presenting Music Man. The music was last seen and heard on Fort Wayne stages on the Civic Theater stage in 1976, so it's time to come back and listen again. Hi, kids. The Ford is turning 200 years old this year.
It's a spoof on the celebration here.
Yes, it is.
The bicentennial.
Turnstone, the Center for Disabled Children and Adults, an organization that has served the community again they're celebrating an anniversary this year, I know, and also are in a major building and expansion project so that they can increase and expand their services. They now serve children in preschool and also then adults in later years, but through their expansion they want to be able to serve teens as well. An organization that has served so many of our neighbors and is asking once again that we help them to help others. Turnstone's facility is out on North Clinton, where they provide all types of therapy, physical, occupational. They help people learn how to adapt their homes to their various needs and disabilities.
That was a horse-drawn carriage you saw just a few moments ago.
From the Barrett McNagny Law Firm. People are seeing the horses and the buggies. Nice day for a pop and a cooling off popsicle, if you would. We were talking about that art in the park that's taking place at Fryman and at the park over around the Performing Arts Center. So check that out as we check out these messages.
Alive's coverage of the Three Rivers Festival Parade is brought to you in part by Nisco Pool and Patio Paradise and Physicians Health Plan.
We're a hometown store. We know our customers, they know us. They've been shopping with us for years, and they feel comfortable with us.
We offer a prescription delivery service.
I feel that we have a real care and concern for their well-being.
We have a personal service, and people do appreciate that, and it shows.
At my store, I see the same customers each week.
We truly believe in serving customers. Keltz Pharmacy, we really are your good friends for life.
Hello and welcome back once again. Three Rivers Festival Parade 26 is moving down the streets of Fort Wayne.
This is the Ellen County 4-H Color Guard, an equestrian unit representing Ellen County 4-H in local and state competitions and parades, Jane.
And this year's team is made up of 6 riders, and that's part of the band we're seeing right now. That's not the Color Guard, that's the Snyder High School Marching Panther Band.
Well,
Well, they went to there, and they came back to the band, so...
Okay.
We'll just
a
go...
little bit of both.
We'll go to the flow. I'll tell you
want to see more of that.
Yeah, I like that band so much. Let's go and take a closer look at them, because this is the Panther Marching Band from Snyder High School, and you just got to give this 150-member band a rousing applause every time you hear them, directed by Kevin Klee and Jody Smith.
You know, this band in recent years has gained a national reputation for very innovative music and a very exciting color guard choreography. Award winners literally all over our nation. Again, hundreds of hours of work with these kids. So let's listen and watch. Color guard right there. Those kids are riding down and waving to all the folks along the line. It represents, of course, the Allen County 4-H, and the team's made up. Now we're going to find those 6 riders, and they practice 3 to 6 hours a week, as we saw. This is the 8th year that the color guard has been with us.
And they're moving right along on us. This is the Allen County 4-H Club. Salutes the Three Rivers Bicentennial Festival with the help of the Huntertown Volunteer Fire Department.
You know, this 65-year-old fire department pumper has been restored by the Huntertown Volunteer Fire Department and other dedicated members of the community, and it's dedicated to former Chief Cooney Tucker.
The 4-H court members are flanked by the 4-H club members and leaders representing the 1,200 youth participating in the 4-H program.
Exciting program for our youth.
Ball State University.
I own a feather in that bird, I'll tell you.
I know you do that. I know you
Charlie Cardinal and the Ball State cheerleaders. Ball State was founded in 1918 by the 5 Ball brothers of Muncie, Indiana.
Now, the unit today features Charlie Cardinal, who you saw a moment ago, the university mascot, and the award-winning cheering squad, right?
And these are some members of the musical Marching Cardinals. They're playing tunes today from the ragtime era.
And they're riding on a 1973 Cadillac Eldorado convertible, the 73 pace car owned by alumni Doris and Dick Miller.
Okay.
Yes. This is NBD Bank. Senior management and branch managers are riding a Fort Wayne trolley.
I guess so. You know, NBD started its operations in Fort Wayne on March 18th, 1923, and they started then as the Dime Bank.
They were formerly known as Indiana Bank, which merged with People's Trust and Anthony Wayne Banks to become Summit Bank. NBD is proud to be participating in the 26th Three Rivers Festival Parade.
There will be a quiz on that.
Yeah,
By the way, hi, Sally. Yes, the employees and the branch and the bank managers and all are marching there. And who's taking care of our money today?
Someone's minding the bank.
I hope so. Music, music, music.
Fort Wayne's Ellen Dairy recently became a division of Prairie Farms Dairy of Carlinville, Illinois. And here to salute Fort Wayne is a Prairie Farms Authentic. Right behind there, 1929 milk truck.
Oh, boy, and these trucks and ones like these used to make delivery house to house and corner grocery store to corner grocery store. That was back in the 30s.
Now, walking beside the truck are employees of Ellen Dairy. They make those good dairy products and deliver them to our Fort Wayne supermarkets, but in the modern way.
In one of those big...
semi-trailers. Not semi.
Oh, another neat little car.
Built by Joe and Pat Spallone. The body is all fiberglass and mounted on steel frame. This is the 1936 Mercedes Marlene replica.
Okay.
Classy stuff. It's got a steel frame with steel firewall and a floor pan. It's powered by a 5-liter 302 V8 Ford drivetrain with Mustang suspension, Jane.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, I know, me too.
And of course, that's custom burgundy leather,
yes.
burgundy leather,
yes.
and a German velour carpet. So it's really authentic.
You know, it took them a year and a half to put that automobile together.
No, it did.
Following up right behind is the Blackjack Rail Locomotive Specialty Unit from the, what is that from?
That's 48 Voyager.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're just welcome anytime. Now, this engine was named after Blackjack Pershing. General Blackjack first, get that rank right.
Oh, I remember him.
Good. Back in World War I.
The 40th and 8th Society goes back to World War I when 40 men and 8 horses were transported on the French railroad in a boxcar.
The Society of the 40 Men and 8 Horses was formed, and the local Voyager is made up of outstanding legionnaires who are invited into membership. Membership is still by invitation only in this organization. So you have to be invited to be able to ride that.
Oh, look at that. That gave you a nice, unique look at the parade. As you rode along the backside of that, you could see down the street and all the young people waving their flags and having a good time, smiling faces, every one of them. Here's our 1915 Model T Ford delivery truck, and of course it always contains the Circus Calliope.
The music of fun. We've come a long way, baby, though, since this 1915 Model T delivery truck
Somebody just shot me.
rolled the streets of Fort Wayne. You know, there's now only one remaining Calliope manufacturer in the United States.
That's right. This unit was produced in 1987 in Newton, Kansas. Peru, Indiana was the summer home of Cole Brothers Circus and several other larger circuses.
And this is the Flag Corps, the auxiliary marching unit for the Snyder Panther Marching Band. It's a little tough with those flags. We've got a wind coming down the streets here, so those girls are really having to exercise some muscle. Looks like historic Fort Wayne in miniature style, Keith.
From Meyer Inc., this is a look at the old fort.
And a look at a big panda bear there, too. One of the cannons that helped defend the area.
Meyer, a new member of our community, and we're happy to have them, bringing with them many jobs, and they're help celebrating already here.
That's good. They want to be a real part of the community. There's the Armour Wiener. Right?
If you say so. I try to stay away from those walking wieners.
Unless you're really hungry.
That's right, that's right. Well, you can see once again that the streets are just lined with hundreds, thousands of people today, literally.
I think the super weather has probably brought out more folks because it's beautiful. You can see that by looking.
Walking away from a great past and turning toward a glorious future, this group of Essex employees, it's the club from there.
We're glad the club joined us today. Their float depicts an athletic show.
It's a really big shoe.
It's a really big something there, folks.
The Essex Employee Club was formed, by the way, in 1982 and has over 400 members. Essex Group was formed in 1930 and moved to Fort Wayne back in 1936.
And, of course, it was originally known for some of us old-timers as the Esquire Corporation.
The world headquarters and 3 division headquarters are located on Wall Street in the west central area of town, just across from Jefferson Street from the historic Sweeney Homestead. Hi, how you doing?
And we have learned that this was the commercial winner in the parade also. There are various awards given out, which we'll have when we rebroadcast the parade again tonight.
This is the Fort Wayne Navy Club ship number 48. They join us every year. The unit is built on a 1947 International Harvester chassis and was christened in 1954.
And you know, the Navy Club is open to all active and inactive Navy, Marine, and Coast Guard personnel, so could have lots of folks belonging to that.
Check it out. Pretty sharp float there. The Three Rivers Federal Credit Union is proud to say they've been in the picture since 1935. Three Rivers Float has 2 rotating picture albums displaying members and employees of the past and present.
Of course, again, saluting the theme of the parade, a glorious past, a glorious future, because we see some young people there as well. Very young people.
I'm going to take a snooze, this one says. This is too much for me today.
The easy way to walk the parade. In the picture since 1935, they are helping, they tell us, to build your financial framework.
This parade continues on this 26th bicentennial celebration of the Three Rivers Festival. Don't go away. There is so much more great stuff to bring you, and we'll have it right after this.
Three Rivers Festival Parade 26, a glorious past, a glorious future, is rolling down the streets of Fort Wayne. The streets are lined with thousands and thousands of appreciative viewers and spectators as they kick off the celebration of this, our bicentennial celebration of the Three Rivers Festival. More floats. Look at that little, oh. I'd hate to be a wing walker on that airplane, Keith. Look at that. Talk about a barrel roll.
This is from the Target Company with an airplane. Check it out. Whoa, whoa.
Hey.
Oh, that's a real skywalker.
Yes. There's what it looks like upside down, folks. Boy, our camera person Ty's out there in the midst of all of this.
Check it out. And you know, I think they're right on target with that float.
Keith, it's sponsored by Target.
You know, I've been doing this for an hour. I'm getting a little punchy. That's pretty, isn't it? Check that
Great
out.
float.
Round and round it goes. Where she stops. Oh, my goodness. Man, I tell you, that's going to be one upset tummy when she gets done. Check it out.
But imagine the view of the parade route. Whoa, that she's getting.
It's that jerky motion, though, around on the bottom side. It bothers me a little bit.
I'm glad I haven't ridden many planes that flew like that.
There's a person we want to say hello to today, an elderly woman who's a little under the weather. Her name is Heather, and she's out at Medco. She wanted to be out here today, but she couldn't be, and she just wanted us to say hi to her. So,
hi, Heather.
Take care of you.
Glad you're with us, and hope you can join us next year right here, okay?
This is St. Francis College, and this float depicts St. Francis College celebrating its 50th year in Fort Wayne. The float shows a staircase leading to a tower, which we'll see here in just a moment, next to which a college graduate in a cap and gown is proudly sitting.
And of course, these are some of the students and faculty and staff of St. Francis flanking the float. There you see that stairway with the students, with the diploma. And that, you know, kind of depicts the Bass Mansion, which is the library on the campus. And of course, we all have wandered around from time to time, I think, Mirror Lake over there. Such a peaceful, beautiful, restful campus.
Very serene. And moving right up behind is Wayne High School's Blue Guard Band, an award-winning marching band comprised of 140 members.
The Blue Guard has been a regional finalist for the past 9 years in national competitions. This year, the band will be competing in many different competitions throughout Indiana, of course. The Blue Guard is directed by Mike Satterwhite and Jim Carval.
And they are the Generals.
And they've marched a lot of long, hot hours in preparation for our parade today and all of the competitions that they have coming up throughout the summer. I live not too far from a high school, and you hear the band members practicing early in the morning, and you hear them long after dark at night.
They are a dedicated group of young people, no matter what high school band they're part of.
That's right. Let's listen.
The parents are just as dedicated as the young.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And are just as nervous as the kids are at competition.
Joining us today is Congresswoman Jill Long, Indiana's 4th Congressional District Representative. She's been in office now since 1989.
You know, upon her arrival in Congress, Long successfully was able to seek and accomplish representing her largely rural district with an appointment to the House Agricultural Committee.
By the way, she also serves on the House Committee of Veterans Affairs, so it's nice to have the Congresswoman here as well today.
Busy lady. Got a new T-shirt there, I think.
Some folks found themselves a shady spot to sit in today as well to watch this festive parade.
Maybe we could borrow a tree or something, Keith, do you suppose?
We are right in the sun, but I tell you, I'm not going to go playing.
Not at all.
Arcola Tractor Pullers joins us to salute the bicentennial as they celebrate their 40th year of operations and the 10th year of being the Three Rivers Festival kickoff event.
You know, the Pulls here have won 6 consecutive Pull of the Year awards, which were sanctioned by the National Tractor Pullers Association. So that means we see some excellent competitions right here in our own backyard. And the 93 Three Rivers Festival Pull drew competitors from 15 states and Canada. The totally modified vehicles are especially engineered for pulling.
Some folks from WBTU Olympic Radio joining us here as well.
Tractors from that pull out at Arcola.
Both sponsors, by the way, are WBTU Radio and WFFT.
Right.
For 55 bucks. Check that out, will you? The Hustler.
You know, I don't know much about horsepower, but it tells me that some of the units involved in these pulls and everything produce up to 2,000 horsepower. That sounds like an awful lot.
Does that mean they can get up and go?
I think it does. And they'll leave you in their dust. That pull, incidentally, starts at 7 p.m. tonight, but the gates will open at 5. So if you want to be there and get a front row, you can go as early as 5 p.m.
Check out the wheels. And check out those wheels.
And those are not inexpensive tractors to buy, maintain.
Honey, I'm going out to the back 40 to plow this afternoon. I think we're going to really tear it up, though.
What a plow that could pull.
This is a specialty unit. The Townhouse Retirement Community is represented by a 1935 Auburn owned by Bob Butler of Kendallville.
The Townhouse residents riding in the rumble seat remember the days of true motoring along the country roads of Allen County.
The Townhouse is a full-service retirement community which has been serving the Fort Wayne area now since 1965. Check that car out. How fitting for this parade with Auburn nearby.
And when they return those residents to the Townhouse, they'll take them to 20 acres out there, landscaped to make it really feel like home.
It is a beautiful place. And they have some new apartments on that campus as well. Hey, can I have some of that, young man?
Oh, ice cold lemonade, looks like.
I think it's bat juice.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
because he's Batman. That's right. And they have some shade. But they came really early. They kind of watched us set up, those two little guys back.
That beautiful shot from overhead and then zooming down into the street and taking us right to the Southside Optimist Club, I believe.
The theme of the Southside Optimist Club is a friend of youth, and it's represented by this 1930 Buick Roadster, which is driven by its owner, Jim Kimball. Hi, Jim. Nice car.
Now, alongside this beautiful automobile are 8 club members.
8 Respect for Law students.
That's right. And I'm just giving them a hard time.
I know you are. And some members of the girls' basketball team, too.
That's right. That's right. There are approximately 60 members in the Southside Optimist Club, which meets every Tuesday morning, by the way.
There's some of those championship women basketball players.
Well, here we go with our Fort Wayne Comets. What do you need to say about those boys? Except a hard bunch of guys that came this close to getting that Turner Cup this year. But boy, what a season they gave us, didn't they?
A lot of excitement.
They're all winners.
They really are. They really are.
There's been a rebirth with the Comets over the last few years with the Franke family. And I'm telling you, even though we didn't quite pull it off, the crowds have been enthusiastic, and it's brought a whole new life to the Coliseum.
It's been exciting to watch it happen. And this is ARC of Allen County, the Association for Retarded Citizens, and they say that they want to thank the Three Rivers Festival and Acme Printing for giving them the opportunity to promote community awareness of the abilities rather than the disabilities of individuals with mental retardation.
From the first half day of school in 1954 to the comprehensive array of services available today, it is estimated that ARC has impacted the lives of as many as 20,000 individuals.
They have. Another float rolling into view.
And I hear a bell clanging
Association for Retarded Citizens. And also, the ARC and ACME would like to make everyone aware that 50% of mental retardation cases could be prevented. That's the important message. They could be prevented through good health practices and through prenatal care. So they bring an important message for all of us.
It's important that mothers, when they find out that they are going to have a baby, to get that prenatal care and take care of that yet to be born child.
Little Dixieland there. Back home again in Indiana. Sing along, Keith.
Oh, I'll just hum.
You don't know the words, right? The banks of my Indiana home.
This is titled the Rolling 50s Classic Chevy Club. The 50s come alive again with nostalgic images of Fort Wayne's first drive-in at Halls on Bluffton Road and teenagers cruising.
Cruising the Hoon.
The Hoon, meaning, of course, Calhoun Street.
We've got 55 Chevy Bel Airs. We've got some cars there with children and grandchildren, and, you know, those really are things that they will pass on to their grandchildren. Do you remember 50s cars?
Well, of course I do.
Okay. I can see you're trying to figure out what you do.
I'm a real old-timer.
There, I think that's, what, about a 57, maybe?
Well, you know, Jane, never mind.
Check it out.
I was going to say something about it's hard to remember what they look like from the back seat, but then again...
Whoa, look at the shine on that hubcap. I think it's called Magfield.
Now, wait a minute, that's not a Chevy, that's
a Thunderbird. I was wondering about
that. That's a little newer one than mine. I had a 60 Thunderbird.
Did you?
Yes.
Convertible?
No, it was a hard time.
Oh, boy. You had fun times in that car. What an engine under the hood. I think that little girl would like to have a ride in that convertible. What do you bet?
Why not? Block that sun off your head. We're going to dry here a little bit today. I'm sure the temperature's in the 80s already.
You know, though, good old Jay Walker, he's helping us out, I guess.
And boy, don't you forget, he'll take the credit come Monday.
I don't care who takes the credit. We've got great festival weather.
The Korean War Veterans Association, Chapter Number 1 of Fort Wayne, came into existence in 1989, beginning with 20 charter members to 106 active members today.
You know, men and women of all military branches, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and volunteered or were drafted to assist the government of South Korea to repel aggression in 1950, and that lasted until 1953. And the men and women of this group sustained grave wounds and also some mental breakdowns, just so we could enjoy ongoing freedom around the world.
Now, because of this action, you and I and our Korean friends are able to celebrate this bicentennial. We only ask that you not forget the sacrifice of these men and women and those who lost their lives.
The Korean War Veterans Association salutes the Fort Wayne Bicentennial, and Fort Wayne, we salute you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is the Korean Association of Fort Wayne, the First Presbyterian Church Korean congregation. I really can't read some of those words. Can you, Keith?
No, I left my dictionary at home today with the translation. Now, we're told that although the participants on the float were actual participants that helped liberate the South, going back to the Korean conflict now. So we're happy to have them here today. The two ladies on the float dressed in traditional costumes are playing the historic stringed instrument called the, I'm sorry folks, I can't see the printing on this page, Kalayam, is that right? Forgive me. This is Arts United of Fort Wayne. As their sign indicates, they are the umbrella organization for the arts in our area, representing 54 arts and cultural organizations.
Arts United was actually incorporated in '55, and they are the third oldest arts council in the entire United States. the largest art council in the state of Indiana. So we're really proud of them.
And in fact, they are formally called the Fine Arts Foundation. Arts United is a private, non-profit organization, and they provide the largest single source of financial support and other services to the arts and humanities in Northeast Indiana.
And, you know, funding from Arts United, one of only 2 federated campaigns in our area, reaches dozens of the arts and humanities groups, and they're guaranteed annual operating expenses, so these groups are perpetuated.
By the way, the front banner you saw there is carried by Arts United President Jeff Gephardt and the immediate past chair of Arts United, Linda Ruffalo, and Parade Committee co-chair and board member Carol Kettler-Sharp.
Hard-working people, volunteers, many of them no less. They've come back again.
Well, you know,
and again and again.
They call themselves the second-time arounders, but this ought to be about the 59th time around.
I think it is. You know, they were organized in 1985, and they've marched every year since then in the Three Rivers Festival Parade.
Membership is open to anyone who participate in their high school or college bands.
And they do have fun. The band works to play well, but the main idea is to have fun. And it's playing What Else with Stars and Stripes by Sousa. The second time arounders march is by Don Scheidler, a member of the band.
Let's listen. Is the executive director. The musical director is John Stetler, and drum major is Dudley Stetler. The band thanks its sponsors.
And some little second-time arounders the first time around, maybe. I want to march. You can't sit still to that music,
Hey, I'm
Steve.
sorry, lady, you're glued to the chair. You're not leaving my side today.
Okay, I'll stay a while. 33 WKJG TV.
40 years together is their title this year.
And of course you'll recognize members of the staff and young people marching with the float.
I'm sure our competitors Linda Jackson and Jim Klink and many other staff members are there today as well.
Hello there.
How you doing?
I want to sing.
Well, you're doing it.
Oh, so stop, okay. And their float, of course, depicts satellite communications.
It's kind of a communication thing. It's a tower with a rainbow and very colorful. And a job well done. Towering time. This 26th celebration of this bicentennial and this Three Rivers Parade continues right here on 21 Alive, your #1 station. We'll be right back.
In the last 10 years, a lot has changed in healthcare, and a lot of health plans have come and gone. But there's one company you can always count on, Physicians Health Plan, serving more people than any other health plan in northern Indiana. So while there will always be signs of change in healthcare, it's nice to know when you're looking for the right healthcare plan, there's one plan that will always be a sign of strength. Physicians Health Plan, still the #1 plan by choice.
Welcome back to the Three Rivers Festival Parade, and as you join us, you're looking at the Mad Anthony Corvair Club.
And they are very proud to be with us today in the parade. It's the local chapter of the Corvair Society of America.
Now, the members and Corvair enthusiasts drive their Corvairs to many shows and events.
That's right. And most of the Corvairs are next to original. Others are highly modified, as we'll see both externally and under the hood. A little car that kind of changed the way of thinking in motorization in America.
Well, that engine in the back.
Yeah.
Trunk up front.
And any car that you can put the top
blows your hair back.
Hello there. But golly, that's kind of an unusual animal to have in a Corvair.
I think it came with the car. Another one of our competitors joins us as well today. This is News Channel 15.
From 1954 to 1994.
Seems like everyone's celebrating an anniversary.
Yeah, it's a big anniversary year.
Again, you'll see many of the people that you see on the news.
Sandy with her umbrella to keep the sun off today.
Alan Akins.
They'll never take the shot.
No, I know they won't.
Lee Kelsey.
Hi, Lee.
And many more. Good to see you folks. Enjoying the parade, walking along. It looks like we have some family members as well.
A little baby 15. Randy. Red, white, and blue. Bicentennial colors for our bicentennial year and their 50th anniversary.
40th.
40th anniversary.
40th.
Math was never my strong suit. Hi, hi. Oh, we're hearing it, Keith. It's more music moving down the street.
That's really what makes a parade, doesn't it?
It is. It certainly is.
You know, Marianne Bird joins us, and you have some people with you, don't you?
Yeah, I have some really die-hard parade goers here. The householders from Pretty Lake. What time did you camp out this morning at your spot?
6:30 this morning we were here.
6:30. How many years have you been coming to the Three Rivers
We've only
Festival
missed
Parade?
3 or 4 out of the 26. I think we've only missed 3 or 4, and that was when we were on vacation.
What do you think about today's parade?
Oh, it's great. We really like it. We enjoy the weather. It's really great.
What's been your favorite float so far?
Oh, I think that we like that turtle that went by, that real nice turtle.
That was nice. All the Indians on it. All right. That's it from here, Keith and Jane. Everyone having a really great time today. Great weather and a lot of great floats going by.
And you've got a bird's eye view, Marianne.
That's right, and those Indians were members of the...
A bird's eye view.
I guess. And we have music now coming from the students of Concordia Lutheran High School. Concordia, I believe those are the marching cadets. The auxiliary units, again, having a little difficulty with this nice breeze that we're enjoying. Snap to that tape, guys, gals.
Breeze is cooling everybody off.
Yeah. You have to tap your toes to the beat of the drum. Oh, we know this guy.
And you know what? I think we're going to have an opportunity to talk with the mayor.
Mayor Paul Helmke of Fort Wayne.
You know, he just had back surgery not too long ago. I'm surprised that he's up and around and doing so well.
Well, we're glad he is and that he's joined us once again on foot along the parade route.
I had some other information I wanted to tell you about that, too, because there's 2 young people walking with him today.
Along with him?
And that would be they are Brandon Franklin and Jessica Robertson, our essay winners from the DARE program. And so we're very happy that they're able to mark.
Well,
Marianne, go ahead.
Hey, look who I have. Mayor Paul Helmke, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
You having a good time along the parade?
Oh, it's a great parade. And it's, I was a little concerned I had back surgery a month ago, but this is great exercise
Well,
for
you're
us.
looking spry today.
The crowds are so nice, it's a lot of fun.
Go ahead and say that again. I can't hear you.
I said it's such a nice day. The crowds are great. I'm having fun. I love it.
All right. What about the crowds that look as big as it was last year?
I think they're great crowds. And last year we had the rain, and this year it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. All right. Back to
Everyone
you.
needs to come on down.
All right.
Thank you both.
Mayor.
Thank you. This is Fort Wayne area Lifeline Homes. We have the high handlebars, streamers, banana seats, and bikers of all kinds, right? Biking in the 60s, actually.
I guess so.
Remember the banana seats?
I never had a bike with banana seat.
We could probably still find you one.
Would you run right out and get me one, Keith? Well, lots of you have them and you remember and you loved it. The Fort Wayne area Lifeline Homes, the kids from there appreciate those bikes and the fun that they're having too. They're also going to have a bike-a-thon.
That's right. Following right up behind us, WLDE Oldies 101.7 FM celebrates Fort Wayne's bicentennial year with Three Rivers Festival 26. surfing on the float, our Oldies 101.7 personality, Jeff DeWeese, Barbanell, Douglas Keith Pritchett,
Julie Jordan, Matt Myers, and Jay Michaels.
and they're rocking.
And they're surfing.
They be jamming. As we move on, this is the a drill team military unit. These are Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 288. These are Vietnam Veterans of America from Fort Wayne. All 5 branches of the service are being represented within their color guard today. We're happy to have them with us as well.
I guess. And again, we note the crowds rise as the color guards pass.
Moving right on with the Fort Wayne University Club, and Ben Davis Chevrolet are proud to be a part of Fort Wayne's great 200-year history. We look forward to being an integral part of its glorious future, they say.
Well, we hope they are too. The University Club has been helping people get together since 1951, and they do that through a myriad of recreational, social, athletic, and cultural events.
Now, the club, the community of Fort Wayne, and the Three Rivers Festival have grown together throughout the past 43 years. This year's float symbolizes the friendships and camaraderie enjoyed by University Club members as they participate in volleyball, which is just one of the club's many events, by the way.
I've never played volleyball running down the streets of Fort Wayne before, though.
Wait, I'll catch it. I'll get it. Wait a minute. I got it. I got it. Whoa, shoot. All right.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, the rock and roll segment of our parade. Did you know that?
Right, I did. Well, and they're rolling and rocking with that volleyball.
That volleyball. A lot of folks brought their hats today, wanted to avoid some of that sun, as we have a glorious sunshiny day out here.
We also have the Judges Trophy winner in the non-commercial division, and this is from Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
They're saluting the 200th birthday of the city of Fort Wayne. Midwest America, formerly the General Electric Credit Union, has been serving residents of Fort Wayne and the surrounding areas since being chartered in 1936.
And you know, that credit union is owned and operated by its members, and its headquarters right here in Fort Wayne.
Walking alongside the float are members of its staff, volunteers, and of course their families. They're wearing specially designed T-shirts commemorating the city's bicentennial. Check that out. Look at that eagle.
I guess so.
And the Statue of Liberty.
It's all there.
Very nicely done, folks.
Red, white, and blue.
Now I know why they got a Judges Trophy for the non-commercial.
You know, they tell us that they are really proud of our city and our country, which is founded on the principle of freedom for everyone. And, of course, on that float, too, they had the City of Fort Wayne flag. These are volunteers from one very important organization in our community, the Matthew 25 Clinic, providing services for people who might not be able to have the proper medical attention and counseling that they need. Matthew 25 serves so many that would go without proper medical care. And you know who that is? That's Dan Patch, Keith.
Dan Patch, yes. Single G Memorial Association float features the famous Indiana horse Dan Patch, one of the winningest racehorses in Hoosier history.
And this horse was so famous that around 1909, there were wagons, watches, dances, stoves, cars, everything named after him.
Is that right? Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Now, this float has appeared on the 1994 Kentucky Derby Pegasus Day Parade, the 93 and 94 Indianapolis 500-mile Parade, and the 93 Annie Oakley Days Parade.
Been a busy float, appearing all over the Midwest and points beyond.
This is Sheriff Squadrito and members of the County Sheriff's Department approaching here as we watch this parade. Since Allen County was founded in 1823, there has been a sheriff. Today, here comes Sheriff Joe Squadrito.
Sheriff Joe, you're there.
By the way, one thing that the sheriff is very proud of, one of his accomplishments is the introduction of the DARE program to the Allen County schools.
And what a tremendous impact that has made on our children. DARE stands for drug abuse resistance education. And so we're starting them at an early age in the formal classroom atmosphere, learning the problems of using drugs.
This is the Northeast Indiana Dairy Queen. Check this out. Is that about the biggest cone you ever saw?
And the humidity hasn't done a thing to the curl on the top of the cone.
Oh, it's not even getting soggy there.
No.
Yeah. Could all use a big lick.
I guess. I have a feeling once this parade is over, there'll be a lot of ice cream cones and lemonades and elephant ears and all of that disappear from the Not All Junk Food Alley right behind us.
Don't let that cone get away now. You hang on to that thing. And there's a smiling ice cream cone.
Oh, a happy one. That's what I like, a happy Dairy Queen cone. Again, we have another trophy winner. This is the Festival Board commercial trophy winner.
Historically, Phelps Dodge Magnet Wire has played an integral part in the community affairs at Fort Wayne. As one of the city's larger employers, Phelps Dodge has been a stabilizing force in the economy now for over 6 decades, and this is really called the Fabulous 50 Sweet Shop. Check out that platter playing there.
Yes.
More platter, less chatter.
Little sock hopping going on, I think. You know, and they tell us, too, that this year they're proud to showcase the fun of rock and roll times of the 50s and 60s. Elvis is alive, they tell us, and he's well, and he's in Allen County.
That's right, and I think Elvis is in the parade.
Oh, I'm glad. Should I swoon?
No, just keep talking.
Okay.
You got a donut? You got a donut?
No, but I got a band. Will that do?
Okay.
A marching band from Bishop Dwenger High School.
Good camera work. Check this guy out, following that band as they come down the street.
I guess so. The music and marching of the Bishop Dwenger Band.
And of course, like every other band in the community, they're taking part in all kinds of events. And this just happens to be one of them, and probably one of their favorites.
And we're glad they're here because we like band and music. And so does that little guy.
Well, while he's taking a little check out of his shoes, we're going to take a check out and freshen up and be back with more of this fantastic parade. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
21 Alive's coverage of the Three Rivers Festival Parade is brought to you in part by Nisco Pool and Patio Paradise and Physicians Health Plan.
The ratings are out, and we at WPTA-TV want to say thank you.
Not only did you make us #1 from sign on to sign off, your #1 choice for local news was 21 Alive News.
You made us #1 at 6 a.m.
We were your first choice for news at 5 and 6 p.m.
And 7 days a week for News at 10, your #1 choice was 21 Alive News.
You've trusted us to provide the most accurate, up-to-date news, sports, and weather information, and we don't take that lightly.
Our commitment to you is one more way. WPTA-TV 21 Alive cares for you.
Barbecue? Right now? Baggett? McDonald's? Hey, McRib. Now you're talking.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Enjoy the unique taste of McDonald's McRib sandwich with small fries and small Coke for only $2.39. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
And welcome back once again. We're on the streets of Fort Wayne for Three Rivers Festival 26, and we're rolling right along with some folks from Roller Dome.
That's Roller Dome skating facilities. Marge Wall at Roller Dome North and Ken Wall at Roller Dome South have been a part of Fort Wayne's heritage for 43 years now.
That's right. You know, roller skating isn't really the field of entertainment for everyone, but in addition to entertainment, it's great exercise.
By the way, the costume characters that you're seeing also on skates are synonymous with the birthday party celebrations for a fun time at both rinks.
That's right.
And you know, now many of the rinks are offering an opportunity for the youth to play hockey.
That's right.
Which which is a lot of fun.
Another growing sport. Here we see some of it now.
Check it out. He shoots. He scores.
Have you ever tried those inline skates, Pete?
No, I'm always out of line.
You're always... You might be if you tried those.
Or I'm
They're
told,
kind of tricky.
or I'm told to go to the back of the line. Whatever. This is WAJI Magic 95.1. You see a float here of flying carpet.
Let's just take off and view Fort Wayne from the air. WAJI Magic 95.1. And there's the sheik, or who has a magic carpet? What do you call those people?
Gee, I don't know. What do you call those things?
Sheik,
you know, it was, maybe that's Aladdin. Aladdin had one in the...
That's right. Okay, we'll call him Aladdin. It's a deal.
Let's look at something else that rolled by while we were in a commercial break. This is the Botanical Conservatory. It's called Branching Out of Fort Wayne. The distinctive three-peaked outline of the Follinger-Freiman Botanical Conservatory encloses Fort Wayne's unique indoor gardens.
You know, they were opened in 1983, and they do, if you haven't been there, put it on your Three Rivers event. They have beautiful plants and flowers of all different regions of our country.
Let's go back with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters. You're familiar with this organization.
I certainly am. An organization that matches adults with young people, boys and girls, mostly from single-parent households, and gives them a relationship that they can spend with that big brother or big sister, always in need of volunteers.
And with them is a group known as the Mustangers, and I wonder why that might be.
Well, they happen to be the Mustang Car Club, and they have worked for years supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters, and have a special show coming up later this month. I believe it's the 23rd, again, which will help benefit Big Brothers Big Sisters.
And we just keep moving along. This is the Indiana Army National Guard. The 38th Infantry Division Band of the Indiana Army National Guard from Indianapolis is comprised of 40 military musicians. Let's listen. The band was organized prior to World War II and has brilliantly represented the Indiana Army National Guard since that time.
The American Red Cross, they're there when we need us. The Allen Wells chapter of the American Red Cross provides many services, not only to local residents at times of disaster, but people from our area are serving literally in a number of places currently with the disasters that are going on in Colorado, California, and Georgia. Also, they provide swim classes, training, a very valuable regional blood bank, and I happen to know that they are just right next door to a shortage in needing blood donations. During the summer with vacations and the sort, sometimes people forget to get in and donate. So think about that. It takes about an hour of your time, and you could save a life.
Very important points. This parade continues today. We're having so much fun out here on this wonderful day for a parade. You just cannot complain at all.
Not at all. And I don't think this guy's complaining either.
No. Is this happy?
Well,
or you just want
I'm
to be
happy.
Yeah.
Hello there.
That's the Fox. Happy is coming up. That's the Fox.
Oh, that's the Fox.
Yeah.
I didn't
Silver
think that
55 Fox. Oh, I couldn't see.
There, that looks like the hobo guy.
Yeah, he's Happy. Happy the Hobo is the popular host of Happy's Place, which can be seen weekday afternoons on Super 55 Fox.
And Happy and all of his friends, we just saw the little Fox on Channel 55, congratulate the city of Fort Wayne and the Three Rivers Festival for 26 fun-filled years. He's in his element. Hugs for Happy. Kids love him.
That's right. Hoagland Oktoberfest, sponsored by Hoagland Area Advancement Association, salutes the Three Rivers Festival for 26 great years of celebrating and honors the city of Fort Wayne for the historical 200 years.
And you know, the Hoagland Oktoberfest vote is a live invitation. This is your invitation, folks. All of us that are watching, to help Hoagland Oktoberfest 20th year of celebrating their German heritage. It's going to be held in September. Mark your calendars, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Beautiful German music, and lots of German food.
This is called On the Edge. This unit demonstrates inline rollerblading. It is the only store in this area which is what is this?
Certified
On the Edge. I'm sorry, On the Edge. That's right. Certified instructors. They have rentals and lessons are available. All you got to do is call them for information.
So then, Keith, if you haven't done any inline skating, you can learn.
On the Edge.
On the Edge.
Thank you. Following up is Canterbury Green Apartment Homes and their float.
The home of Fort Wayne Sports. They, of course, know and tell us and remind us again that Fort Wayne has been home to several sports teams over the decades. Canterbury Green is home to many of the stars for these teams. It honors the city's 3 current professional teams, of course, the Comets, the Fury, and there's the Wizards.
We've played home to a lot of these sports team members, and they want us to remind you that Canterbury Green is the only way to live. This is Miss Allen County. On this float are Nicole Helfrich, Miss Allen County, and Miss Indiana State Fair. Nicole competed against 87 contestants to win the crown.
Since she won that crown last August, I believe it was, she has been busy really touring the state and attending functions in all of the various counties because she represents the entire state of Indiana now, not just Allen County.
She is a 1993 graduate of Concordia Lutheran High School, in which she was the senior class president, a varsity cheerleader, and a member of the National Honor Society.
She now is, should you tell a lady's age?
No.
20 years old.
Oh,
and she is a student at IPFW, a sophomore no less, planning a career in medicine. You know, a little interesting aside, Nicole's older sister, Rachel, was Miss Allen County in '91, so it kind of runs in the family. No one's running there. They're just sitting and enjoying as the parade goes by them. Time for a hat swap, I think, is what they're trying to negotiate there, maybe.
Do we know any of these people?
Well, I don't know. I think we do.
Here comes a familiar team on our next parade entry. It's the WPTA TV 21 Alive News team of anchors and reporters. And, of course, we're celebrating Fort Wayne's great past and glorious future.
And if you listen really closely, you might hear the theme song, the music you hear on 21 Alive, the station that cares for you. Hi, Dean. Hi, Melissa.
Well, as you see, traveling with the float are Greg Johannes, Marty Wright, Shea Walker, Melissa Long, Dean Fantastic, Mary Burrs on the sideline, Anna DeBlantis, and many others. Don't forget, the 1994 Three Rivers Parade is being broadcast live right now on WPTA TV 21 Live. And to make sure you don't miss a thing tonight after 21 Alive News at 10, you can see it all over again in an encore presentation at 10:40. That's 10:40 on 21 Alive, WPTA TV.
The news team, of course, will be off that float and covering the events and bring that to you tonight as well as throughout the entire week of festivals with a special wrap-up following our late cast that will bring you all of the day's events and give you a calendar for what's coming the next day so you can plan your festival activities. So we invite you for that coverage throughout the week.
Let's move on now with the Three Rivers Festival Executive Committee. And Jane, I'll let you describe who these great people are.
Well, that's Rosemarie Bosselman. She is president of the board this year, and Rosemarie has had years of involvement as a volunteer with the festival. A lady truly dedicated. You know, most of these people that work on this committee kind of almost shut down their other work during festival to do that. Tony Burris is the vice president. Sherry Becker is vice president. Doug Worthington is treasurer, and Bob Michaels is the immediate past president.
And you know that, like you say, that is not just a one-month job.
No, it's a 12-month job.
And when you devote your time to that, you really devote your time to that.
And they start literally after this parade and this festival working on next year's. They tell us it takes a full 12 months to plan the festival, and 9 months they work on the parade alone.
They're taking notes right now as they're driving in those cars.
That's right.
Well, let me see. What can we do next year?
Because it takes 1,000 hours to organize this festival, 300,000 hours, or 1,000 hours for the parade, 300,000 hours are involved in the festival itself, involving 6,000 volunteers. So that gives you an idea of the scope of this event.
Well, as you've been hearing us say all morning long, we really enjoy bands, and there is no exception when it comes to the Elmhurst Trojan Pride. following awards this past year. Best music at the Norwell Invitational, third place at the East Noble Invitational, and it goes on and on and on.
On and on. It doesn't stop. And neither does their music. So let's watch and listen.
21 Alive's coverage of the Three Rivers Festival Parade is brought to you in part by your Lincoln Mercury dealer and the Fort Wayne area McDonald's.
A computer patient profile system at Kelch is really, it's a user-friendly type of system that helps us to maintain accurate records for the patient.
And when we go to fill a prescription for a person, we are able to check their drug history.
Enables us to keep track of all medications that the patient has received.
And if you're having problems, we can pinpoint those problems.
Kelch Pharmacy, we really are your good friends for life.
You can have a vacation in your own backyard this summer with a swimming pool from Nisco Pool and Patio Paradise. Shop our wide variety of pool shapes and sizes. Plus, Nisco offers a terrific selection of pool games and accessories. Visit either location, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5:30, Wednesday and Friday, 10 to 8, and Sunday, noon to 5. Nisco Pool and Patio Paradise, 5008 Decatur Road, and in Coldwater Crossing.
Welcome back once again to the Three Rivers Festival Parade, and the fun continues as we look at the General Electric, and they're proud to be a part of this special Three Rivers Bicentennial Parade. Our great past is represented by Clovis Linkius, author of a recently published book on GE.
John Red Braden is manager of the baseball team that took the national championship in 1947, 48, and 49.
Charlie Shipman, who was a player on the team and is standing with two of the big, beautiful trophies, is also joining us. And of course, you know, children are our future.
This float is sponsored by the American Mothers, along with American United Life and Tri-State Associates. And the organizations tell us that they support mothers in their dedication to preserving the moral and spiritual foundations of the home, and we all know how true that is.
They're dressed as professionals and occupation representatives. Riding on the float and walking along are the children and parents from Mothers of Young Children, Fort Wayne Study Chapter. Well, we've been talking throughout the morning about the DARE program. Now, this special section of the Three Rivers Parade is sponsored by the Fort Wayne Police Department DARE unit. The young people marching in the parade today are all graduate 5th grade students from area Fort Wayne schools who successfully completed the DARE program.
And, you know, each student that's with the float and presentation today was selected by individual DARE officers for writing. Get this, the kids wrote an exceptional DARE essay in which they explain what the DARE program means to them and how they plan to stay drug-free.
Now, through continued education, they will be able to do so successfully. These young people will be the leaders of our community in the future.
And our community will be in good hands.
Now, there's the way to go down the parade route. Get a ride on Dad's back. This is McDonald's of Fort Wayne. The employees of the local McDonald's restaurants are escorting their float.
And they won the Judges Trophy in the commercial division.
That's right, and they emphasize Ronald McDonald's Children's Charities contribution of $25,000 to the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo Indonesian rainforest.
And what a marvelous, exciting attraction that is, too, at the zoo if you haven't been there. And your local Fort Wayne McDonald restaurants are committed to the preservation of the tropical rainforest land, just like what you see at the zoo.
This commitment is on a local level as Ronald McDonald's Children's Charities, as I mentioned, donated $25,000. And the float displays different types of animals. And of course, you got to say hi to Ronald up there.
Yeah. Hi, Ronald. And we're glad that Ronald knows how important the rainforests are, too. And, of course, over the years, McDonald's has sponsored the Ronald McDonald houses all across the nation that provide shelter for families when children are in hospitals far away from home. So they put back a lot into the communities in which they do business.
Move on with the Northside Redskins marching band under the direction of Edward E. King II. The 200 members of the Redskins band have received numerous awards over the past year.
That they have. First place at the Goshen and East Noble Band Contest, 8th at the ISMA State Finals, and, well, those are just a few of them, but let's listen to them, okay?
Good idea. On that trip.
I know you did. You had fun. And you know, the Redskins band has performed for over 1 million people in this past year, just in 1 year.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
That's a lot of marching. This is the youth ensemble, which we heard early on at the start of this parade, and they gave such a great rendition for us.
That they did, and you know, this group is made up of young people from all over the city, and it's open to membership, so any youth who like to sing, who want to be a part of this, can join this organization and sing and entertain just like they did at the beginning of the parade here.
Let's move on with WBCL Radio and Taylor University. Also along with them is the Taylor Brass Band. They'll be playing some music along the way. It picks really a tranquil park setting there.
I guess.
WBCL is your Christian music station in the Fort Wayne area.
And WBCL and Taylor University, they're proud to be a part of Fort Wayne, and this is a memorable bicentennial year for them as well.
WBCL Radio, your Christian music station, broadcast with 50,000 watts, 24 hours a day.
And of course, again, Jeff Carlson of Rise and Shine, Scott Sculliff of Travelers Home, Ross McCampbell of PM Praise, Ken Chert of Nightlight, and Charles Mackey, the weekend announcer of Rise and Shine. They all joined Dr. Chip Jaggers, who is Vice President for University Relations, so the whole bunch of the folks.
And we're happy to have them with us. Also today are some Ellen County Commissioners joining us. Jack Worthman is currently President of the Northeast District of the Indiana Association of County Commissioners.
Serving as president of the commissioners this year, and he and wife Kay have 4 children and 4 grandchildren who've enjoyed growing up in and around Fort Wayne.
Is that Ed Rousseau also with us today that I see there? Yes, indeed. There he is. He's in his second term, right?
And he and Marilyn have 4 children and 10 grandchildren.
Wonderful kids. This is a Summer Quest, the YWCA Adventure Camp, which they really do a whole variety of things. That's why it's an adventure.
That's right, it certainly is. And having that many kids in one place is always an adventure. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it.
When you got kids, you always got fun. Contact the YWCA and your little one can have that much fun.
Fort Wayne's K105 is racing through time with Indy 500 race car driver Scott Brayton along with his 1966 Cobra.
Ooh, a hot little car again. You know, Scott and his K105 pay tribute to the over 75 Indianapolis 500 racers, as well as all the great racers.
And there you saw the real Scott Miller, along with Rick Hughes, Jeff Moore, Jack Maurer, Kevin Kelly was walking alongside Scott Miller there. We are glad they're with us today. Partners in Education, Northwest Bank and Southside High School. They salute the city of Fort Wayne and the Three Rivers Festival during this bicentennial year.
You know, Norwest and Southside High School have teamed up for what they call Partners in Education. Now, through the partnership, Northwest Bank supports Southside High School activities, which will have a lasting and positive effect, of course, on the educational process.
Okay, this is Whoa Mutton Power Lawnmowers.
I could give an address where a lawn needs mowing. You suppose they'd like to show up today?
They'll be over right after the parade.
Various Whoa personalities driving those little, well, not so little,
tractors.
Mutton Power Lawnmowers. Jim Reed, hi, Jim. We are going to let them cut and mow right on down the street as we take a break, and we'll be back with more Three Rivers Festival fun.
Alive's coverage of the Three Rivers Festival Parade is brought to you in part by Chemical Waste Management and Kelch Pharmacies.
It's the big taste of McDonald's Daily Double Combo with small fries and small Coke for only $1.99. Or get the Daily Double Extra Value Meal with large fries and medium Coke for just $2.99. Or supersize the Daily Double Extra Value Meal with supersized fries and large Coke for $3.38. Now that's a deal worth getting pumped up about. Because what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Take a close look at the new Mercury Cougar XR7 and you'll see a wraparound interior with standard dual airbags, power windows and locks, even aluminum wheels. Now let's reflect on that to reveal the new special Max Edition Cougar with added features like two-tone laser striping, luggage rack, and special emblems. And now, with prices starting as low as this, you'll see Mercury Cougar is a nice reflection of you. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
In the last 10 years, a lot has changed in healthcare, and a lot of health plans have come and gone. But there's one company you can always count on. Physicians Health Plan, serving more people than any other health plan in northern Indiana. So while there will always be signs of change in healthcare, it's nice to know when you're looking for the right healthcare plan, there's one plan that will always be a sign of strength. Physicians Health Plan, still the #1 plan by choice.
Welcome back once again to the Three Rivers Festival Parade. This is the Fort Wayne Fire Department and their brand new Supervisor Blazer and their new Harvest Quality pump truck. Check this out.
You know, these pieces of equipment are a long, long way from the old days of the hooks and ladders.
Matter of fact, it's keeping Fort Wayne safe from the ravages of fire. Has really been the goal of the Fort Wayne Fire Department for more than a century and a half now.
And they've done a very fine job of it.
And we're proud of these men and women that take that heavy-duty job on. Let's take a look at the bicentennial float, if we could. This float celebrates Fort Wayne's current birthday with a look at the lasting legacies and gifts for the future created by the celebration.
Three Rivers, 2 centuries, theme of the bicentennial. It, of course, has General Anthony Wayne. There he is atop the float. That's a great big cake he's popping out of.
That's right, and also a 7-piece band. The Summit City Saints are riding on the float.
And this comes to us from WMEE. We happen to know this unit represents the rat race, which of course is an important
and my buddies Tyler and Tony, which I work with in the morning on 97.3 WMEE.
And those pedals will work even better on the rivers during the rat race, don't you suppose?
They're going to have a good time with that raft race. The bikinis are spectacular. Also, this during this Three Rivers Festival, many other events.
And there's Admiral Andy in that car, Keith. You notice him?
That's right. And also, along with Admiral Andy, is the parade committee of 1994, including Rosemarie Bosselman, Mark Walder, Bruce Dunwitty, Leanne Sobek, Jim Miller, Jim Turkowski,
Mindy Eichhoff, Barb Shopman, Bart Grieve, Greg Reed, Bridget Kelly, Brian Brand, and Tarwa Newhouse, along with Jeff White and Trish Hart, and lots more people.
My. The names go on, and so the fun really is just beginning.
That's
here.
right.
The parade may be over, but the fun is just beginning. There you have it. The 26th annual
marvelous
event down here.
kickoff for our bicentennial celebration, our Three Rivers Festival 26. A salute to a glorious past and a glorious future. We want you to be a part of the festivities, which continue now through the rest of the week.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye now.